Welcome back to Coastal Zone Championship Wrestling, and it's now time for Hardcore Halloween. Welcome along here on Spike Power Driver. My name is Anders, and I'll be taking you through this Let's Play series on Total Extreme Wrestling 9. So today we have our, I've lost count, number of show of the year. I think it's like our 14th or 15th. But it's Hardcore Halloween, so obviously it is Halloween, and we've got a stacked card tonight. You can also see here we've got a couple of new debuts as well. Well, 2 new debuts that we'll go through probably on the pre-show. But we've basically done all of the pre-booking in advance, so it's just going to be a case of dropping everyone into the card and hitting go, which we'll do here today. That's kind of what I generally do on Total Extreme Wrestling 9. Particularly for these Let's Play videos, I'll usually book about half the card in advance and then add the rest in on the fly. Particularly for the Coastal Zone, but with other saves, the booking process can change ever so slightly here and there. But generally speaking, for this Coastal Zone save in particular, I'll book everything in advance after the end of the previous show, and then go forward through the next 3 weeks. Adding and tweaking anything that needs to happen for anything that develops over that time, and then basically just dropping it into the show when we get there. So that's a little bit behind the scenes that you probably didn't ask for, but that is what's happening tonight. And once again, we'll be in the Gorski Ballroom, and we'll use White Wrestle World because that's what we have to do. I'm going to itch my eye as we make sure we press the right button. No booking team meeting, locker room incidents. Fiasco Fierce is coming. I don't know who he is, but sure, come and hang out. Why not? Johnny Perez doing some impressions of his colleagues, which is great for morale. Jonathan Frost causing issues backstage, trying to fight Bullseye, made a small positive impact on his morale. And he's happy with the action, apparently. Quincy Jargon and California Love Machine. So Quincy Jargon is one of our referees. They've got to be separated after a heated argument backstage. That's not fantastic. And then we go through our training, lots of that good stuff. Mass Cougar passing on some tips to Zell Quinn, and that is the end of our pre-show. Excellent. Right, these are the 11 segments we've booked. We'll go through them as we run the show, and we'll drop everything into the booking sheet now, and that should kind of basically just fill out, I imagine, the 120 minutes of the show. So we'll go through with our main event first, and we'll add it to the booking sheet. And what I'll already forget to do is got to borrow the COT World title, which we always seem to forget. Say I always seem to forget every single time we do a show, which is good, considering we book it every show. There we go, that's that main event booked in. We'll also drop in the co-main event, which also has already been done. And then we'll go through a couple of the angles which we need to drop in as well. So the first angle we need to do is this one. This is after match number 3 from the top of the card. We'll drop that in there. You can I'm not going through the detail of what we're doing, but you can see what's happening on screen, so you can read it and pause it if you really want to. But we'll go through the detail as we run through the actual show itself. But I've kind of got in my head an idea of how everything fits together already by doing the pre-booking. But you'll see that as we go through the main bit of the show in a second. These are tag team matches which we are adding in now. Excellent. This is the angle that sets up all of those tag team matches and in fact our main event. I'm generally using the quick angle adder bit of the angle booking, which I think we've gone through in the past as well. But this is a long show, 142 minutes already. Excellent. There's some potential issues, which is probably too many matches. Not had any matches aiming to steal the show, and Quincy Jargon doing too many matches. Right, who can steal the show? Shall we say these guys? You can steal the show. There we go. There we go. It's part of our product. We have to have steal the show on, and we'll get Quincy Jargon off that match as well, and hopefully that will get rid of that note. No, we'll have to drop him out of another match. Make sure our main event has got the right staff member refereeing. There we go. Pee-wee can do that one. Okay, that's got rid of the issue with the referee having too many matches on his hands. Right, and then on the pre-show, we're going to have the Ultimate Phoenix debuting pair, and we'll drop in who's this guy who's not fought last time, Miguel Rivera, and a tag team partner, because all of our other tag teams are predisposed, so they can't be in the pre-show. There we go. Ultimate Phoenix and Ultimate Phoenix Jr. can have a tag match against Miguel not Malik Cash. Miguel Rivera. And who can we punish? Or rather drop into this one. We'll put Tony the Wonderful in. He's a steady hand. Excellent. Winner of the match can be Ultimate Phoenix Jr. He's going to debut on the pre-show. And that is that. Okay, then here we go on to the show. Right, 142 minutes might be our longest one yet. And as you saw, our opening contest on the pre-show, saw the the returning Ultimate Phoenix and the debuting Ultimate Phoenix Jr. They got the victory over the makeshift team of Miguel Rivera and Tony the Wonderful. I bought in Ultimate Phoenix on a 3-month deal. Ultimate Phoenix Jr. more long-term. They're both really off their game, though, as was Miguel, so it was a bit of a dud of an opening match. 40, the segment rating. But into the actual show itself, and this one wasn't really that much better. Mas Cougar led the team of Fox Mas 2 and Altitude to get another victory over Frankie Perez, Johnny Perez, and Victor Kim. Victor Kim struggling to keep the pace with everyone else. Johnny Perez eating the pin from a Cougar pounce. We're continuing this little rivalry between Cougar and Frankie Perez, basically because I've got nothing else to do with the pair of them, so it's kind of just shove them at the bottom of the card and hope for the best. Then we go backstage where Hugh Ask announces that he gets a second shot at Carlos Barrera for the COT World title tonight in a ladder match. And he's also announced that Tandem Offense will defend their tag titles against the rest of the tag team division in a 9-team round-robin tag team classic, which starts tonight. Basically, every match that the Tandem Offense are in, they'll defend their titles, so the titles can change hand during the tournament, and then the winner of the tournament gets a title shot, or they are the champions, depending on how it works out. I'm not quite sure. It's basically just something to do with the 9 teams we've got in our tag team division, rather than having some sort of structure that I've not really thought of. So we'll go through and see. Tag Team Classic starts now. Speaking of, there we go. Wildcats beating Apex Twins in the first match of the Tag Team Classic. We'll have a look at the table in the tournament at the end of the show. 56 rating for this one. I think Hugh Ask's angle was 42, by the way. So this is a first match in that one. Wildcats picking up the victory, unsurprisingly there. Then Gangster Nation beating Thunderstruck in their first round matchup in the Tag Team Classic. Another decent one here. I need to actually pay attention to these gimmick notes because quite a few are getting stale gimmicks, by the way, now. So there we go. We're about 9-10 months in. People's gimmicks getting stale. 55 rating for this one. And then we keep bumping up. I put them in the right order, clearly, because the segment ratings are increasing every time. The Beach Boys winning this one. Malik Cash off his game a little bit here, but a 57 rating as the former champs beat the Inner City Express. And then the California Dreams, including Kira Lee, who we are pushing, got the victory over Double Dragon, but it was Sky Hermosa who got the pinfall over Snapdragon Jr. 59 rating. They jumped up once again in the segment rating, which is all good. You can see here Kira Lee doing a stellar performance. Sky Hermosa also not much of a step behind, if even a step. So there we go. There are the first round matches. We'll have a look at the tournament standings after the show has finished. Then we're going to move forward. Frankie Boy Fernandez, he's happy to give Zell Quinn a shot. He's talking with Max Smith backstage, pre-taped and scripted, just to let you know. He's going to give Zell Quinn a shot at the Coastal Zone title after Tandem Offense won that tag team match a few weeks ago at Reach for the Sky, but he fully expects it to be an easy victory because Zell doesn't have his tag team partner there to help him, so it's going to be a bit of a walkover for FBF. Next up is the Extreme title match, and this one was a little bit of a thrown together because I didn't really have anything to do from American Flash tonight, and California Love Machine, he won a Battle Royal, I think, in the pre-show last time out, so that'll give him a title shot. Why not? We'll retcon that one in. But either way, American Flash wins the title. He's going to steal the show, and also important to note, if we look at the Road Agent notes, Kira Lee was sat at ringside for the whole match. That's an interesting one to note. Segment rating of 70, and we go into our next angle, where after the victory, Kira Lee gets up, goes face-to-face with the champion inside the ring, but we do not know when they will do battle yet. Only Kira Lee knows, but they will definitely do a fight for the title soon. I promise you, I've not worked out when yet, but they definitely will. And we've got to try and build Kira Lee up because American Flash is currently our most over worker, because after that tag team match with Tandem Offense, FBF has dropped down a little bit. So that's an interesting one to note that I did not realise before going into this show. Right, that's that. Speaking of FBF, he's got another victory. 73 rating match that he's dragged out of Zell Quinn. This one was a hardcore contest because it's hardcore Halloween and we haven't forgotten the stipulation. Honest. Frankie Boy Fernandez with a dirt nap, 21 minutes. Defense number 11 of his Coastal Zone title. And I really need to either put him into a program with someone else or do something with the Carlos Barrera program that's kind of gone onto the back burner a little bit since their tag team loss and the splitting of the two world titles. But speaking of Carlos Barrera, he defended in a ladder match, and this one was a little bit of a letdown. 66 rating. Few to ask, getting another defeat against the COT World Champion. He makes his 4th defense of the COT World title in this ladder match. Maybe I think I should just stop, basically, not headlining with Frankie Boy Fernandez, because he's clearly the star of the show and it's going to drag our rating down a little bit. 67, still really good, so you can't complain too much. Wide selection of angles, good. Show increased in 18 regions, better. Let's have a look at the finances. More money, we're nearly at 700k. That is... Okay, if you're playing with the Coastal Zone, just bump your production up. It helps. It's worth the money. It really is. Popularity-wise, we're up to 55 in the southwest, 42 in the northwest, not northeast, 37 in the mid-south. I'm thinking that next year we should start going around into more regions just to see. Maybe have an East Coastal Zone, potentially, or potentially just keep going in the southwest until we get a TV deal. That probably will be what we end up doing, but, you know, we're going up everywhere, which is really good. Excellent stuff. We'll have a look at our inbox and then the standings of the Tag Team Classic as well. Obviously, the champions weren't involved in a match this time around because there's 9 teams. One team is going to miss out, obviously. What I should have done is set it up after Ultimate Phoenix and Ultimate Phoenix Junior debuted, and then we'd have 10 teams and everything would be fine. Let's... Oh, it's pay rise. We'll do pay rise requests in a second. Everyone's going up from their £10 a week. It's not pounds, it's dollars, and it's not a week, it's a show. But anyway, we've won the regional battle once again. Got 72,000 people watching Hardcore Halloween, which is, I think, the highest we've seen. We bumped over into November now. You can see we made 115,000 this last month, which is ridiculous compared to where we were at the beginning of the year. The production costs have blown up from 10, 15,000 up to 50, and I mean, you've gone from 20 or 40, depending if we had 1 or 2 shows, to 115. So it's worth it. The extra spend is worth the money it brings in. Speaking of tournaments, here we go. This is the standings. Obviously, there's only been 1 round of matches, so we've got 2 points for 4 teams, 0 for 5 teams, and we'll keep that developing as we go through the next load of shows. I've got no idea when it'll finish or how it'll actually be booked and how it'll finish and anything like that, but that's just booking on the fly, I guess. But 9 teams in a round robin. Why not? Just why not? That's simple. Winners get the titles. Or a title shot, depending on how it works out. I'm not sure. But we'll book it through. Next up, we have got the Showdown at Sundown and then Christmas Cage Classic. Chaos. Not Classic. Chaos is the end of the year show. There's only 1 show in each of the last 2 months of the year. So we've got 2 left. That was actually show 16, I think. Not 14, so there we go. But then we'll be back around for Revolution 2023. As you can see, for the ones I've bothered to do a new logo on, they're in here. I've not done the rest of them yet, so I need to. But it's Showdown at Sundown coming up next, the November show, and then we'll be back after that with more Coastal Zone action. Please let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on the series and the booking. If you've got any ideas, I'd love to hear it. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot for watching. Please subscribe.